Hi guys, it's actually really nice to see a lot of you joining in right now. It's my pleasure to actually welcome you all to my first ever Instagram live, and it's really a pleasure to be able to get to know you a bit better. I hope this might become even a tradition, Friday afternoon coffee, and yeah. So thank you guys for the nice comments. It's it's crazy. I'm really glad to say hi from behind the screen, from Silver Stag Type Foundry, and hi Elliot, nice to see you, and all of the others. It's crazy, it's my first time here, and I don't usually present myself personally to everyone, and some of you actually know me by name and everything, but there's over 37,000 followers, and I'm actually super happy to be able to get to know you a bit better, and just to see who you are, who is actually behind the follows, behind the likes, and to give you the opportunity, to get to know me a bit better. And I believe sometimes the social media can be quite antisocial, especially with the algorithms and everything. And now I want to, just be able to give a bit of myself, and actually just to let you know how I work, what do I do, and all the stuff. If you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I would love to answer all of them. If anyone wants to join by the video, let me know. Just click on the request to join, ask me questions, whatever you want. So it's Friday. I'm already 3 minutes on. I cannot believe this. So I started 15 years ago, more than 15 years ago, in website design. Thank you guys. I'll definitely get back to creative process. I started 15 years ago with website design, and I started with Flash. I don't know if you guys are old enough to actually remember the Adobe's tool to make really cool animated websites. But they existed in 2010. And then suddenly, they were not optimized for the search engines or anything, and they had to die, I guess. So I transitioned to WordPress, and then a couple of years back I started with branding, logo design, and everything that's included. A lot of clients, even employees, and it was a really great time. And then I think I said something similar in an interview for Behance, and at one point I was just replying emails all day long, and it was design industry and everything, but I would be replying 200 emails a day, and that wasn't really just doing it for me. So I actually decided to do some things that would actually get me more happy and get me to a place that is actually way better for me, that gives me more freedom. And that's when I started with fonts. 6-7 years ago, and it's an incredible journey so far, you know. Thank you guys for the compliments. That really means a lot to me. I'm going to go through the questions. Yeah, Shannon, my process behind the font is actually like, first of all, I never like to work on 2 or multiple fonts at a time. So it's one font, then I finish it, and then start with the other one. So yeah, I get inspiration in everyday life, really. I do stuck in Pinterest and on internet and Dribble, Behance and everything, but I try to do things, you know, a bit differently. I try to find inspiration in everyday life, in architecture, in movies, and music. Yeah, so that's the start for every font for me, you know. Maybe it's an arch on a building that will actually give me some ideas, or stairs, or, you know, it's really crazy, but when you actually start looking around, there's so much of real inspiration that can be actually like really like opening. So yeah, I start with that, and then I get a general idea, you know, for the font. I don't sketch, I don't draw. So that's like, I'm really bad at drawing. Always was in school. Yeah, it was horrible. So I don't have a sketchbook or anything I could show you. So yeah, I mean, and then I go right in the software. And I start with the basic letters. All the typography artists and font creators know that it's like, you start with main letters H and O, and then you develop like the ideas further. So that's the main idea, you know. I don't like to work on thematic fonts, let's say. Although I am working on one at this very moment. I have a collaboration with a really familiar and big marketplace. I cannot still say which one. It's kind of a Christmassy font and holiday thing. So that will be like announced very soon, and I'm really happy about it. It's something that does it for me. So, but yeah, I don't usually like to do those themed things. I like to actually like lead the project in my own way without thinking about, oh, there's like Halloween coming in a couple of weeks, I have to do this, and like there's Valentine's Day, I have to prepare a font like this. So I try not to, you know, if it happens, it happens, so it's good. Yeah, so that's the process, you know, and then there's a lot of work in actually technical details of the font, and yeah, it's really cool. Still, okay, so that was like a process. That was the question Shannon asked. I would like to personally say hi to the Gelato Type. Hi there, it's really great to have you here. Thank you for the compliments. That really means a lot to me, you know. And someone asked me, from Mark Creative, if I'm self-taught or I did take courses. Well, I started my professional life studying civil engineering, you know, nothing to do with creativity and anything. But in the middle of everything, I started working on websites, and then kind of university fell back. And yeah, I'm self-taught. Everything I did before, like website design, branding, to fonts, I learned almost everything by myself. There is one course I actually did last year, approximately this time, and it's by the type design class. It's a font making course, and that really helped me, even though I've been working with fonts for some 5 years before that. I actually took the course. That's a beginner course, but just to actually improve my workflow and really, fill in the gaps. Because when you learn things on your own, it can be a bit like difficult to actually catch all of the things how they should be done. And Victor from Type Design class actually has an amazing course. He actually has two. So recently he published another one that's concentrated on italics. I bought that one as well. So even though I'm working, on on italic fonts already, but there's always so much to learn, and I would definitely recommend his courses. But apart from that, it's really all my own, work and experimentation and seeing how and what other people do and work, seeing other fonts. Like you open, for example, I don't know, Illustrator or Photoshop, and then you just put yourself there. You write all the letters from a certain font. I don't know if you want to analyze Times New Roman, Helvetica, or whatever, You just write the letters and you go in details, like seeing the angles, seeing the weights, seeing the proportions of everything, and that really helps me a lot. I go in detail with analyzing really good fonts, so that always helps when you're trying to actually create a good work, because if you can actually go and learn from the best people, from the best type designers, you can do it, on your own. I know a lot of people actually finished university degrees and master degrees in font and type design. I'm not one of them, and I'm really comfortable with saying that, but because I did learn all of this on my own, and I'm actually, I would say, producing quite a good work. There's always room for improvement, but it's a pleasure to actually be able to say that you learned it all on your own. Yeah, so let me go. Okay, there are some questions in Spanish. Yeah, bueno, saludos para todos los españoles aquí. Sí, saludos para Madrid especialmente, porque Madrid es, una gran amor para mí. Y es que, un placer. He tenido un placer de vivir ahí unos 6-7 años. Ahora soy en Barcelona, un sitio cerca de Barcelona. So it's a good thing. Yeah, multi-language. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there are people who actually took the course from Victor, and yeah, it's a good course. They both are, I think. I finished the first one in a couple of weeks, and it was really, really amazing. Because you learn so much of the basics, and when you have the basics, you actually can learn a lot more things after that. It's just being open to do different things. Yeah, and that's what I like, actually. It's I don't like to do a certain a type of a font. I like to experiment. I just finished I would say an expressive serif font. I'm now working on a Christmas font, And after that, I'll probably go with something completely different, like some crazy bold sans serif, and just not stuck in a rut, because I admire people who actually can produce serif fonts all the time. I just can't. It gets too boring for me, I love creating fonts, but if I do the same thing all the time, it's just kind of too much of it. Yeah. So yeah, if you have more questions, guys, let me know. If any one of you would like to join with a video or anything, to ask a question in person, just let me know. I can see some familiar faces here joining, and that's really cool. I said it before, there's a question about how I started. Well, I started on my own, creating a Flash website for a friend. And after that, it was, experimenting, learning things. It took me like 3 or 4 months to finish that website. But, a lot of time for a simple website, but it's, you'll learn on your own, and bit by bit, and you get better. And yeah, it's a sad thing those websites expire, and it's a sad thing that people redesign their websites. I would like to see some of mine now, but they are all gone, I think. And so yeah, it's so cool to actually be able to work in a creative industry, and to be able to bring new creative things all the time. Thank you so much, guys, for the compliments. I try to bring different fonts, and when someone gives me a compliment, it really means a lot, because when you're in your home office and the only person that actually sees you work is your husband, yeah, my mom and some of the family don't even understand at times what do I do, like what is a font and stuff like that. So yeah, when you're stuck, well, not stuck, but when you're on your own and in front of the screen all the time, actually feedback can be quite an inspirational thing for me. So yeah, I mean, I like what I do. I like, okay, do you do anything in Procreate? Well, I don't sketch. For example, if I'm doing a sans serif font or serif, there is not a handwritten font, I don't use Procreate. I go straight into glyphs. I experiment with curves, with lines, with shapes. But I usually have some idea, in my head before. And for example, there's a font I did recently that was quite different. It's called Amelie Fears, and it's a font that combines like squares and curves in one letter, and then you have like letter M that has thin line up, then like stairs from small little squares, and then a curve. It was inspired by one piece of architecture in Madrid. So yeah, I mean, I have some basic idea in my head, and then I go straight into glyphs. Glyphs is actually the most popular, I think, software for creating fonts. There are also some other ones that are available for Windows. And if you are starting, for example, if you want to just give it a try, my advice is to actually go to try FontSelf. FontSelf is kind of an extension for Illustrator and Photoshop, and you can actually draw everything in Illustrator or even in Procreate, then transfer it to Illustrator. I think they actually have their own iPad app right now, so you can do a lot of stuff there as well. So yeah, it's a cool thing, and there are different apps and different plugins that you can use to actually make your work better. So yeah, Glyphs is definitely a better start for me. If I'm doing a handwritten font, which I didn't do for quite some time, then I do it in Procreate. I draw with Apple Pencil, and then I transfer it to my computer, and then to, in Illustrator you clean it up a bit, the shapes and everything, and then you do like transfer to Glyphs, which is way better for the technical work. Yeah, so that's kind of a basics of the process, But the thing is that you can find a lot of materials online, a lot of courses online now, much more than before. There's actually a lot of books if you are interested in type design, from how other people work. Victor also published an amazing book last year. It was like interview with, if I remember correctly, 11 type designers, like really popular ones. So yeah, it was great to see actually how other people work, from Zeta Type Foundries, from, I don't know where's that book right now. It should be somewhere around, but I cannot find it. Yeah. So yeah, that's quite a cool thing. And there's also a book that's on my list from Elliot J. Stokes. It's like Principles of Typography. You can actually check it out on his Instagram and order the book. And of course, Designing Type by Karen Chang. That's always a good thing, It's like, if you want to learn anything, she has an amazing big book, but it's really amazing. So yeah, let me know, guys, if you have any additional questions. If any one of you would like to join me, like, for a live question. I know some of you are maybe in a parking spot. I know someone is, but yeah, thank you again to everyone who's joining me. I'm so happy to actually be able to show myself, well, for the first time. We Europeans are kind of freaks when it comes to privacy and everything. So yeah, it's nice seeing everyone joining in. Some familiar faces, some people that I didn't even know that are following me, and yeah, so that's really cool. Yeah, it's already almost half an hour. I will give you a couple more options, a couple of more minutes to actually, yeah, you see, I'm not a wizard over here, even though I do have a wand. There, a special hug goes to, well, a dear virtual online friend from a profile, Harmonious Visual. It's really cool to see you here, sending you hearts. Yeah, I actually, I guess because of my process, because I work on one font at a time, I am producing a tiny bit more fonts than some other designers, but again, less than other ones. And some people are calling me a wizard over here, so, but a wizard I'm not, but even though there is a cool elder wand on the shelf, a bit broken by my nephew, who can be quite a task on hand, Okay, sorry for that. That was a toy I was fidgeting in my hand. Again, something related to wizardry and stuff. But yeah, it's a real person behind the account, and I'm really, really, really happy to meet you all, guys. And if you have any additional questions, let me know. I'll be here for a couple of more minutes just to, yeah. Yeah. It's, well, sometimes I don't sleep, it's, but when you start doing it, after a couple of fonts, you actually already know where everything is in the app. You know how to do kerning, how to do and the Glyphs is an amazing app. It generates language support on its own, so it's a cool thing. Yeah, I'll show you the one next time. I would like to be able to, just swish and flick, and yeah, it would be good to produce fonts like that, but unfortunately we all have to type. We all have to do our sometimes 10 hours, 11, 12, sometimes 5. Being a freelancer is a great thing. You actually can go on vacation wherever you want, to go to the beach. Here I'm quite close to Barcelona now, and even though it's, well, almost November now, yeah, it's quite good to be able to just go and relax a bit. When I don't want to work, I don't work. When I actually do get up quite early, but if I'm not in the mood to work, I just go and read something, or try not to be obsessed with the work, and I believe that's always a good thing. Yeah. Bye to you from FLOEX Studio. It was nice meeting you. Oh, thoughts on the AI. Okay, I was waiting for that one, I was ready for this one. Well, my personal opinion is that AI is really just, for now, it's a tool that can actually help you get better, and that can actually help you do your work faster. Like if you need to make a research, if you need to, I don't know, create a product description, if you need to generate different ideas for example, when I finish a font, you need to make preview images and everything, and then you go to Google Gemini. I use Google Gemini. Not a big fan of ChatGPT. It just doesn't work for me. But Google Gemini is so cool, and you go generate me a name of a brand with a tagline and everything, and all the details, and I just put it up in a preview. It's I don't have to think oh my god, how am I going to call this brand? How am I going to do this or that? It's just way easier, for when you have some tasks that are actually can be quite boring and tedious. So yeah, I believe AI is here to actually, help us do the work. And I believe the personal touch will actually always be something that's being looked for, something that people will appreciate more than just a generated thing. I know that a lot of people are actually worried about their job and everything, but that happens every time there's something new on the market, and photographers have been quite worried about, oh, there's Photoshop, what are we gonna do when people will be able to do it all by themselves and everything. But in the end, photography industry is actually booming right now, and it has been booming for a lot of years now. And it's not, Photoshop didn't kill a photographer, and I don't think AI will do anything similar. There are some certain jobs that will be affected more. There are some that will not, but I don't know. I take it without stressing out too much about it. It's just, if it takes my job, I'm going to reinvent myself and do something else, you know. I did website design 15 years ago. I will do it, you know. So it's, for me, it's quite fun. I use it for some tedious daily tasks that are, you know, just there that I have to do. But yeah, that's my personal opinion on AI. I know a lot of people don't agree. I know some people who do, and that's, you know, that's really cool. And we all have our own opinions. So, you know, I try not to be afraid of it. Whatever happens, happens, and you know, we have to invent ourselves. After all, I might not be doing type in like 10 years, you know. So who knows? Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and yeah, let me know, guys, if you have any additional questions. Ask me anything, you know. It doesn't have to be a type related question, and anything about life or whatever, you know. The studio behind me is like getting its shape a bit. Some of you know that I've just moved from Madrid to a city close to Barcelona, and yeah, I'm just trying to fit my own office. I didn't even expected it to have it, you know. Me and my husband, we were looking for place that would offer us a good living and good life. So yeah, we moved here because of his work, and I actually got my own office. So yeah, that's quite cool. And yeah, I'm organizing things. There's still some books in the boxes that need to be unpacked, and yeah, so still doing a lot of work here. I'm seriously still looking for the book, but I'm not flattering from the back. Yeah, but if you have any additional questions, let me know. Thank you so much for all the love and for all the nice comments. I hope actually this to become some kind of a regular thing, maybe not every Friday. But yeah, it would be a cool idea to be able to talk to you more, to actually do it in different times, because the name of the business, Silver Stag. I started just a Silver Stag without the Type Foundry part. It was Silver Stag. Stag is an animal that I was always attracted to in some form or the other. You know, it's kind of a majestic animal, and it's quite a cool thing, you know, like all different transformations they actually go through their life, from especially the male stags with changing their horns and everything. And so yeah, that was an inspiration for a name, and I was looking what else to add to it, and I came with a Silver Stag. At this moment it's Silver Stag Type Foundry, because I'm like doing 99% of my work is fonts, is type. I do collaborate with some brands. I did recently a couple of template designs for Flowdesk, the newsletter, app. Thank you, Marta. Thank you for joining in. I really appreciate it. Yes, but that's the main idea behind the name. How do I start and how do I find the right road? Oh wow. It's a hard thing. When you work from home and when you work alone, my husband goes to office quite often, so I stay alone, and it can be demanding to actually be like forcing yourself and finding inspiration for work and everything. But I start just by opening an app. First thing in the morning, I just check my email for new things, just to check on sales and everything, and if there's anything urgent. And then I hop right into the glyphs and start working on it, And sometimes I get stuck on Pinterest. That can be quite a big challenge. Like just quitting Pinterest and not wasting all my free time there. But yeah, I just open the app and I just start working. So that's the main idea. I like actually the job itself. It's quite a cool thing to create something from nothing just by drawing things, and it's really, really nice thing to do. And yeah, that's the start, and I'm quite happy about it. And I keep myself on the road. Well, my husband does it. Yeah, he's not forcing me, but he's someone who asks me all the time, like, what do you do? What are you working on? And yeah, so it's kind of a constant feedback and constant loop that actually keeps me on the road. No worries. There are two personal questions, but no worries. How do I deal with the burnout? Well, the good thing about actually being a freelancer is that you can actually stop whenever you want. At least in my case, where I don't have clients, it's a really, really rare thing that I take on a custom project. I don't know, I don't want to get stuck in the email rut again. I did that before. So yeah, it can happen. It happens like small burnout. Like if I, for example, I don't know if I remember well, it was May or June, when I was like publishing a font every week, and it was constant work and a lot of work because I knew like my nephew's coming for a vacation in June, and what I do in May, it will be done when he comes over. It's like I'm not gonna be able to even turn on the computer. So yeah, I was really, really working a lot, and I kind of felt burnout, but being able to actually stop myself and go out at any moment, it helps, and just taking care of yourself and taking care of your food and everything, because trying to be a healthy person in all aspects, and that's what helps. That helps me, and just doing different types of activities. I try to go and play tennis whenever it's possible. I sometimes do hiking with my husband, and we go out quite a lot, to have a drink, to have dinner. It's I would say Spain changed the way we live our life. And yeah, so that's just being able to do different things actually helps with burnout a lot. Not getting stuck with a computer like 24 hours, it helps quite a lot. So yeah, that's what works for me. I don't really feel the burnout quite a lot. It happened before when I was back with website design, branding and everything, because you cannot just stop, if you have a client, if you have client work, you cannot just stop and say, okay, I'm going to yeah, to the beach like for the next 5 days. But yeah, it works for me because I create fonts. I don't have deadlines except the ones I put to myself. So yeah, that's the deal, you know. Just be good to yourself and live a good and healthy life, and everything else comes to its own place. Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm a bit nervous, honestly. It's my first time going live. It's my first time showing my face here, and I'm fidgeting with a small version of Severus Snape. No, I live in Spain. Yeah, I live in Spain for the last 7 years. No worries, your English is great. I'm not a native speaker either, so yeah. But yeah, I live in Spain because I love Spain. I am, you know, I can say it here because a lot of you are not Spanish, but whenever I talk to my Spanish friends, I cannot stop like saying how much I love Spain, because Spain is a country that actually gives you an opportunity to have an amazing life. And you know, a lot of people here, they are not stuck only to the work. Timeline for everything is a bit different to the rest of the world. You know, stores normally don't open before like 9 or 10 a.m. in the morning, and the dinner time is after 10 in the evening. So yeah, it's not like the rest of the world, but that actually gives you a really cool life. And yeah, I'm gonna talk more about it next time, I guess. I mean, 45 minutes, I'm gonna die over here, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you so much for all the great comments. I really enjoyed it. You know, we should do this like, well, not every week. I would get bored of myself talking like for 45 minutes. But yeah, let's do it again. And I will be announcing it here on Instagram or through my newsletter if you want to get some, like a bit of self-promotion in the end. If you want to get some cool free fonts, even a free font guide, just click on my profile and there's a link right there for a newsletter sign up. You will get like 5 fonts that will be completely free for you. They are usually not free. And you'll also get a free font pairing guide that I've made all by myself. Saludos para Argentina también. Sí. Bueno, estoy intentando en español también. So yeah, just hit the link in my biography on Instagram and grab yourself guides for font pairing. There's a really cool graphics there. Thank you so much. I saw you come a bit late, but it's life, so no worries. It's a pleasure to have you here. Yeah, I'm slowly going to finish this. Again, if you have any additional questions, you can just message me on Instagram. I do my best to reply as soon as possible. You can also hit my email. Yeah, Instagram is the network I'm mostly on. So thank you guys. It's been a real pleasure and thank you so much. That really means a lot to me, you know. It's an end of a good day. I'm now off to work on a project and I wish you all have a great day, great weekend, and see you all in some other Friday, maybe some other day as well. So yeah, thank you guys. And okay, my throat starts hurting. Okay, yeah, time to say goodbye and have a wonderful day, everyone. Okay. Bye.